The unthinkable happened today. The World Trade Center, both towers gone, and we are all witnesses to it, and to some degree we are all victims. Tonight, there are survivors trapped in that rubble. Mayor Giuliani confirmed it less than an hour ago. How many?
These acts of mass murder were intended to frighten our nation into chaos and retreat. But they have failed. Our country is strong. A great people has been moved to defend a great nation. Terrorist attacks can shake the foundations of our biggest buildings, but they cannot touch the foundation of America.
That's a good gardening tool, Keegan.
I know it is. We need more mud.
More mud? I think you guys have enough water in your mud, that's for sure.
Ew. Ew.
That's very runny mud.
The 11th of September 2001, that morning we got up early. We saw that there was something happening at the World Trade Center, but we didn't know. We could see smoke and flames. So I went out. I had some things to do. I took my daughter. My husband had gone to work, and I went down just to grab a coffee and then to see what was happening. So I arrived at the park in front of the World Trade Center on the other side of the Hudson River. And when I arrived with my daughter, I just had time to take my daughter out of her pram, set her down, stand her on the ground, and I took my camera, and just at that moment, the first tower collapsed.
The second and last tower of the World Trade Tower has just collapsed. It is about 10:30 Eastern Time. It is a scene out of Dante's Hell. Horrific. No World Trade Tower is standing. Time, 10:30.
The expression, "I couldn't believe my eyes," is exactly that. I could not believe what had happened. People were turning to each other in the park and saying, what happened? Did you see that? What happened? Did the tower fall? And we really thought we were under attack. The whole of the United States thought they were under attack. So when we arrived in New York, we had all these dreams of what we were going to do in our year there, and we had this image of all the wonderful things that America had to offer, and particularly New York, and we had a list of things. And 2 days before the Sunday, 2 days before the 9th of September, we went to the World Trade Center to have a drink in the afternoon, and we were sitting at the bottom of the towers thinking, will we go up today? No, it's okay, we've got a whole year to do this. We don't need to do it all today. So we didn't, and we went home, and 2 days later, it was no longer there. But one thing that you can say for sure is that I have total respect for the New Yorkers, how they picked themselves up and they just carried on, and they did everything to help each other the most that they could do, and it was impressive. It was really impressive. The few days after the terrorist attack were completely surreal in our neighborhood. It was so strange. There were cars that had been abandoned because a lot of people used to park in our neighborhood and then take the path or the boat into Manhattan, and their cars were just there, and people had put signs on them to say, please don't tow this. This belongs to someone who's been in the World Trade Center. We don't know if they're coming back for their car. We don't know if they're alive, but please don't tow this car away. And there were things like that every day when I took my daughter to the park. We had to take a towel with us to clean the ash off the swings, because every day there was more deposits of ash that was in the air, and I had to clean the seat on the swing every time that we went in the morning, because there was more ash on that. And but having said that, the people were just amazing. People opened their businesses. People spoke to each other in the street or at the park. People really tried to continue life as normal. They really tried.
The casualty figures will be numbing, and few in the city will be untouched by what happened today. So often in the past, we've been able to say, it could have been worse. tonight, this time, it's hard to imagine how.
C'est assez étrange hein, parce que c'est des sentiments assez mêlés. D'un côté, bon, on a été témoin d'un épisode, on va dire, assez capital dans l'histoire récente. Donc, d'un côté, on pourrait se dire que on a eu de la chance entre guillemets d'avoir été témoin de ça, mais en fait, je ressens toujours l'angoisse qu'il y a eu à ce moment-là, les sentiments, pas personnels, mais collectifs. Voilà. C'est un événement historique, etc. Mais j'éprouve plutôt beaucoup de tristesse et pas de fierté de participé à ça. Alors que bon, c'est vrai que des fois, quand on a participé à un événement un peu particulier, on pourrait se dire j'y étais quand même, mais là j'aurais préféré ne pas y être. C'est clair.
Well, of course, there's something that you see like that with your own eyes. It's part of history. It's something that's in the history books. It's something that I saw and I took photos of. I have photos that I personally took. So when we came around to the first anniversary, it was impossible for me to watch any of the images, and I'm glad that they removed all the images of the people throwing themselves out of the World Trade Center, because that we saw that, because they put that on TV before they'd even had time to think that was people's loved ones that were throwing themselves out of a 100-story building because they thought that was all that they could do. Even now, when I watch any footage of what happened, the towers coming down or anything, it's very, very, very difficult for me to watch. It upsets me every time. Now I don't like any idea of being in of big places with a lot of people. I hate the idea of big buildings. It's okay to go up quickly and to come back down again. So to go up to the top of the new World Trade Center, to go to the top of the Empire State Building, okay, but to come down again. The idea of working in one of those places or living in a building that's so high, never, because we see how fragile that is. It's impossible. I wonder about the consequences to my daughter, because she was with me, and even though she was not quite 2 years old, she saw me upset. She saw my fear, my terror, my anxiety about that, and I'm sure that has lived on with her in some way.
So I've dealt with mental health issues for my whole life, and the work I've been doing since I was about 9 years old, seeing therapists and psychiatrists, is trying to find out from where I came from. And talking with my psychiatrist at the time, I told her about the fact that I was present when I was 2 years old in front of 9/11. Might have contributed to some of my trauma. To this day, I physically can't watch any videos because I genuinely get sick to my stomach. Even though I don't remember the whole thing, there's possibility that it has affected me in some way, even though in my subconscious, which is what my psychiatrist heavily suggests.
Because it's lived on with every single person that lived or worked in New York at that time. It's with them for the rest of their lives. People will remember where they were, what they were doing at that moment. Everybody saw it. Everybody.